My evil corrupts the most innocent. I have chosen you because you possess powers you do not yet understand. Look at it. Look deep into it. Some world I worship as God.
Hello and welcome to Parker Peters' Heavy Metal Power Hour, the only show on the internet which packs 1 hour of entertainment into a 15-minute video. Today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite issues of heavy metal, issue number 270, a classic for sure, and an issue that's sure to go down as one of the greats. So let's take a look inside. This issue came out late last year, and in my opinion, it is one of the best issues ever published. As you can see, it has a gorgeous cover by Pascal Blanchet, a 3D rendered cover, which doesn't happen all too often, but nonetheless, it is absolutely gorgeous. As we open it up, we can see an ad for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mini-Mates. It's odd to see advertisement for Ninja Turtles in an adult publication like Heavy Metal, but this is Kevin Eastman's magazine, so I guess it's not all that surprising. We have our table of contents. Here we have a one-page ad spread from the Ad Council. Reckless driving is a road to nowhere. It's a lovely little ad. It looks like it was made specifically for Heavy Metal magazine. Very in line with the style of the magazine. That's kind of strange. And the first story, which is the conclusion to Annals by Enki Bilal. This is a sort of a drawn-out, melancholy story about human-animal hybrids. It's been quite enjoyable. It's been going for the last couple issues before this one. As you can see, the art is a beautiful charcoal monochromatic style, which is hallmarked Enki Bilal as well as this story, Animals. It's just got sort of a sad and melancholy tone to it, and if you're into that sort of thing, just a desolate Arctic human-animal hybrid story, then I guess this is one to check out for you. The next story we have here is a short one called Surefire Means. It is also sort of a desolate, melancholy story, but this one has more of a Road Warrior style flair to it. I love the art. The story has a dramatic conclusion, which I won't spoil for you, but it is stretched out over, let's see, 5 pages, and it is a quick read, but it is a good one. And here we have a heavy metal staple, the Artist's Studio. This time we're not looking at a traditional artist per se, but rather an artist that paints on guitar bodies. Chris Compston. We have some beautiful airbrushed art here on these guitars. There's a Dia de los Muertos on a Les Paul. Very beautiful. On a Gibson Explorer here, we have All You Can Eat. This one's my favorite one of the gallery. I would like to have this on my Explorer. Another Explorer, serious heavy metal. I like this one a lot too. Here's some classic Hollywood paintings done. As you can see, we've got Marilyn Monroe, we've got the Wolfman and Frankenstein, and what appears to be an homage to Jaws. Here's an ad for Asylum Press, a wonderful little independent comic book studio. Here they are showing off Fearless Dawn, which is a comic book series I like. It's somewhat like Tank Girl, but a lot more ongoing plot-driven, I would say. A lot more cognizant than Tank Girl. Still, not to say Tank Girl is not a good series, but Fearless Dawn is a lot more plot-driven. Next, we have a story which is a highlight in this issue, Brahm Ka. This is a beautiful story that just reeks of classic heavy metal. It is a very short, very brutal fantasy. The art in it is a little bit blurred out. I guess that's what they were going for. It's very soft. There's very soft lines. But nonetheless, it's effective and beautiful. Very good story. Here's a comedic story. This one only takes up about 4 pages, I believe. But it is a wonderful little comedic one-shot, as is customary for each issue of Heavy Metal, Sexy World. Next up, we have one of the best stories I've ever read in an issue of Heavy Metal. This is just absolute, pure heavy metal magazine, just condensed to its essence in Vampire Vixens of the Wehrmacht. You can correct me if I am mispronouncing that. I don't speak German. But this one is about a vampire assassin who is hired by the Allies to go out and thwart Hitler's more supernatural plans. As you can see, the art is just absolutely breathtaking. This is just one of the more memorable stories that I've read in a long time in heavy metal. After that, we have a story called Biological Warfare, which is a funny little comedic action piece about terrorists inside of someone's body. I'll let you read it and get the punchline at the end. But it's a fun little story. Next up, Two Peas in a Pod. This is another highlight story by Ren. I absolutely loved this story. It really reminds me of the Druna series in older heavy metal. The art and sort of tone are very reminiscent of Druna stories. And the art is just absolutely gorgeous. It looks digital, but they look to be going for sort of a watercolor. It's just a wonderful little story with erotic overtones. Very similar to Druna, very in line with a lot of heavy metal's more erotic stories. Hope they continue it and spin it off into more issues, like they did with Druna. There's an ad for you. That's a heavy metal ad. Good girls with really bad attitudes. Looks like an advertisement for some of their more erotic works, probably art books. Most of these are art books or photography galleries. Next is a one-page story called Just One Feeling. The art in it is gorgeous. Again, very somber, very melancholy. Very Road Warrior-esque, or more Fallout-esque, actually. HeavyMetal.com is where you can go to order this and many other back issues going clear back to the 70s. After that, we have Close Call, which is a story in beautiful Buck Rogers style fashion. Very retro sci-fi. It's got absolutely gorgeous artwork, and I enjoyed the twist ending it has. It plays out similar to an episode of Twilight Zone if the Twilight Zone had a budget that was sky high. So that's what's great about some of these sci-fi comics. The stories can be reminiscent of Twilight Zone, but they can do a lot more than they ever could on a small TV budget. Next we have a very short story with very little dialogue, Oscar Ed. Very melancholy, very dark. Somewhat dark. Next we have a very dark story, Saskatchewan. Absolutely gorgeous artwork. Reminds me of 30 Days of Night. It's sort of a psychological horror story. Another one of the highlights of this issue. Just very grim and this whole issue is very grim and melancholy with highlights of screaming heavy metal like the Vampire Vixens. But overall a classic issue. Yet another advertisement for Asylum Press. Up next is Autopsy. This is a one-page story with a little bit of a socio-political ending here. And next we have another artist profile on Pascal Blanchet, who is the artist that did the cover. He's a 3D artist, and he has worked for a lot of big names in video gaming and in role-playing, such as Wizards of the Coast, and I believe he worked for Ubisoft. As you can see, it's just beautiful 3D rendered artwork. I usually don't like 3D modeled artwork, but these ones are rendered in a way that makes them look very natural and very fitting for heavy metal. Finally, we come to our last one-page story, MI9 Secret Agent Daphne, part of an ongoing series. It's just a nice little retro erotic comedy story. Each issue has a different MI9 agent, and they get into a little bit of trouble in each one. Here you see on the very back page, on the back cover reverse side, we have a advertisement for the Heavy Metal Asylum Press special. And here we have the back cover, also by Pascal Blanchet. There's another gorgeously 3D rendered cover. Just wonderful and very fitting for heavy metal. And that's issue number 270. A classic for sure. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.